What's up, you guys?
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. We are glad you are spending some of your Sunday with us. We got the whole fam here, our little fingers included.
As we mentioned in our previous vlogs, we told you that today's video was going to be a special one.
Well, many of you guys have been following our infertility journey for the past 2 years. Jared and I were actually talking. We officially decided to start trying to extend our family 3 years ago this January.
I know, super crazy. And if you guys are just watching this for the first time, you have no idea who we are. Well, I'm Jared, this is my wife Brittany.
And this is our puppy Finn.
And we've been dealing with infertility for the past 3 years.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just do a brief recap because we do have quite a few new followers here that may not know our infertility story, which you guys, we actually have an entire infertility journey playlist. You can go back, watch a lot of the videos in detail. But just to give a brief recap, so as I mentioned, we decided to start trying to have a family in January of 2020.
Officially decided that 2020 is gonna be the year that we try and start a family.
And we all know 2020 was a crazy year for everyone with COVID and everything that went on. So it was probably not the best timing of a year to try and start with a family. But anyways, we got through that year. At the end of that year, we decided to actually move out here to beautiful Florida, and still no baby, no pregnancy.
Yeah.
And so I would say the first year, like, we really weren't thinking about it. We were just like trying, because as many of you probably are either going through infertility right now or have gone through infertility, you don't learn about a lot of that stuff in school. Like, you just hear, oh yeah, you know, you have a baby, you start a family, it's easy. Well, that definitely has not been the case for us, and what you're finding out is a lot more difficult than that in our case.
I thought trying to get pregnant was super easy, and it's definitely not, at least not for us.
Yes, actually 1 in 8 couples struggle with infertility, so it is a major issue. We are learning more and more, which is so sad because it is such a hard thing to go through, and we'll get into more of that. But jumping back to our story, so after we moved here to Florida, we found an OB here that I started to see, but it was during COVID still, so it was just like virtual visits. Anyway, she ran a bunch of different tests on my hormones. I got ultrasounds, and she really couldn't find anything. The only thing really was my progesterone levels were low. So she started me on clomid. So I've been on quite a few rounds of clomid. For any of you that have been on clomid know what I'm talking about when I say it has some pretty crazy side effects. At least for me it did. So we kind of went through periods where I stopped, I started that, we took breaks. However, I was able to get pregnant. It was the first time in like 2 years from taking so many pregnancy tests that I got a positive, and you guys, we were so excited, but we found out pretty soon after that it was actually a chemical pregnancy, and so sadly that was not a successful pregnancy. But it did give us hope that I could actually get pregnant. And my OB was like, yeah, that's great that you can actually get pregnant. So I would say our hope started to go up at that point. Like, okay, like, we got this. Pretty soon after, Jared's dad, Sweet Papa Bingham, unexpectedly passed away, and so kind of just dealing with that, pressing pause on everything that goes into infertility. We just kind of took some time off. We just feel like we really needed just to take a break from everything, because it is so stressful.
Yeah, that in itself is extremely stressful. Losing a loved one is obviously extremely stressful. So the two of them combined, it's just like we had to press pause.
And unless you've been through infertility, I feel like it's not talked about a lot, but there are so many emotions in it every day. It affects you physically, emotionally, mentally, financially.
Oh yeah, like, there's so many nights where it feels like we can't go to sleep because it's constantly on our minds. We wake up, we just feel like there's no point to do anything today. It's almost kind of like you're hopeless at times. You don't want to even try, and it's very difficult. But at the same time, like, we want to have a child so badly, so we do have that hope to continue to press forward through all this pain.
For me, being a mom, that is like something I've dreamed up since I was a little girl. Like, that is just ultimately what I want. I want to be a mom, and I want Jared to be a dad. I know he's gonna be an amazing father one day. And just having that desire and not being able to do much about it, it's so difficult. Like, it's so difficult. So that is actually a big reason why we chose to come out to Florida. We love the beach, the sun, the warmth. That's our happy place. As many of you guys know, we actually built a house back in Utah. The plan was just to stay here for about a year while that was built, but we have extended that because it has just been such a blessing to live here for us, you guys. It's been the best thing, I think, that could have ever happened to us going through infertility.
Hands down.
So that is one piece of advice. If you are experiencing infertility right now, find things that you enjoy, that you love, that can take your mind off of it, because it is such a mental game. And just for us, being kind of away from, I mean, in Utah, we love Utah, don't get me wrong, but all of our friends are there with their kids, with their families, our families and their kids, and we love them so much, but constantly being reminded what we don't have right now, it's very, very difficult. Our last big update was almost 5 months ago, which is crazy. We had decided that, you know what, things were just not working with the OB that I was seeing. It was still virtual. I didn't know her super well, and I just really had the gut feeling like, okay, I think it's time to see a specialist. And to be honest, you guys, I was almost in denial. I did not want to see a specialist, because to me that said we have a problem. Yes, and that I hear so many hard things about going through like IVF or IUIs or just all these things. And to me, I was like, no, like that's not our story. I was in denial for a while about it. And it was really hard for me to accept that we were going through this. I mean, so many people say a really common thing is, you know what, you just need to relax. It'll happen when it happens. It's all in God's timing, which I know that works for a lot of people, but infertility really is, it's a medical diagnosis. Like there's something medically wrong with either Jared or I that is causing us not to be able to get pregnant. And I've been listening to lots of different podcasts, and one interesting thing that has really helped me was the girl that was talking. She had been through it through a few years, and she said when people say, you know, all in God's hands, which we totally believe that is true. We have relied on our faith so much and in God through this whole journey. However, with it being a medical diagnosis, we just can't sit back and just say, if it happens, it happens. It's kind of like if you get diagnosed with cancer, she was saying, do you just sit back and say, well, what's gonna happen is gonna happen? No, you go see a doctor, you try and get, you know, help.
I mean, the whole definition of having faith is action, taking action.
So kind of knowing that and having that new mindset, it made me want to book the appointment with a specialist. So we had mentioned we had booked one here in Florida, we were really excited about. It was actually almost a 3-month wait. So as we got closer to that, I had several phone calls with that facility. We went through some insurance issues, and needless to say, I just didn't have the best interactions with that facility, sadly. And it made me just really second guess, like if we should go there and go through this whole process with them, if it wasn't gonna like be a great experience for us. And so we prayed about it a lot. We were really, you know, we waited already 3 months for this appointment, and we really wanted to get moving on it. However, we just both didn't have like the greatest feeling on that. So flash forward to a couple months ago, you guys, we had the thought of, in Utah, there are so many great facilities, fertility clinics, quite a few of our friends have actually been to and told us about. And so we started doing a lot of research with that. And we have actually found an amazing clinic there that will actually see patients all around the world. So we have decided to start seeing a specialist in Utah.
We're super excited about this.
We could not be more excited, you guys. We feel like this is kind of the best of all worlds, because we are gonna be able to go to this facility. Our first appointment, we've had this booked for a little bit, but our first appointment is gonna be when we are out in Utah here in the next couple of weeks in December.
Pretty exciting.
So it is gonna be awesome. We're both really excited on this, taking this next step, kind of figuring out what's going on. I think another misunderstanding with fertility is a lot of people say, well, why don't you just adopt, or why don't you use a surrogate? Where we're at right now, we don't even know the answers to why we can't have a baby yet. And until we figure that out, we don't even want to explore those paths yet. Not saying like maybe that will be the route we go eventually, and I think that's a beautiful thing, but for us, we personally just really want to figure out why we can't have a baby and then kind of take next steps from there. So being able to go to this specialist in Utah is gonna be amazing, you guys. So we'll have our first meeting with them here in a couple weeks. And then I'm gonna be able to do a lot of blood tests and things like that just here in Florida. And we may be going back and forth a little bit, which is awesome. I mean, in Utah, you know, we love going there, seeing family, so that's gonna be exciting. So I feel like this next step, it finally feels right. We're really hopeful about it. We're at peace about it. We're excited about it. I feel like it's kind of fueled our fire again to keep going, because it's just been like this. And we've shared bits and pieces of it with you guys. Obviously, we try and keep our videos, for the most part, upbeat. We share our everyday lives with you guys, which we absolutely love, but there's definitely times that we don't share everything. We don't share
stuff like this, but we're excited to start sharing it with you guys. So if you guys are new here, definitely hit that subscribe button and join on this journey with us.
Yeah, if any of you guys are just starting into it, you can follow along with us. Also, if you find this video helpful or enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. What that does is it lets YouTube know to push it out to other people that may be experiencing this. I mean, the biggest thing for us, we have found so much comfort in sharing this journey with so many of you, because so many people go through it. Like, I don't think we realize how many people go through this, and a lot of people silently go through it, because it's a very personal thing to talk about, but we have found so much comfort in hearing from all of your stories as well, knowing we're not alone, and vice versa. So it's kind of like this awesome community that we're so happy to be a part of, to help us all get through this.
And we know that so many of you guys are praying for us, or saying so many kind messages, either in the comments or on Instagram, even emailing us. A lot of you guys have even sent us stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And so we cannot appreciate all of your love and support.
Yeah, you guys, it's overwhelming. When I just get the cold chills right now, and I told myself I wasn't gonna cry in this video, because I can't even tell you how many videos I cry with our infertility updates, but it really means the world to us that you guys care enough to send us those messages, to pray for us every day. And I just want you to know that we're really, really thankful for that. As we mentioned earlier, we are relying on our faith right now, and we don't know why this is happening to us. Everyone goes through different struggles in life, and this just happens to be ours right now. But we know eventually we will have a family one way or another, and so we're really excited about that, and we're just grateful for all of you. So I think with that, before I just totally lose it, you're gonna go ahead and say goodbye, but we love you guys so much. Hopefully this has helped anyone out there that is struggling with infertility. Our hearts and our thoughts are with you. Feel free to share your stories down below so we can make this a community. I love when people do that. It just helps everyone all together. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
See you guys. Love it. Bye.